so like cute and coffee and this, and a girl, it's not that. And I'm not saying that it's not that, but it's not just that. What's up, you guys? It's Yaz and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time viewing my channel, welcome. My name is Yaz. I am a registered nurse located in Florida, and here on this channel we discuss things all related to nursing. We do beauty, lifestyle, vlogs here and there, kind of everything. So if that's your vibe, definitely go ahead and subscribe. So as you guys can see from the title, in this video we're going to be discussing all the things that I believe you should know before starting nursing school. Like I said in many other videos, if you are familiar with my channel, everything is not tailored specifically to one person, especially nursing school. So what works for me may not work for you, and vice versa. So without further ado, I'll get right into this video. First thing first, the most important thing in my opinion when it comes to nursing school is knowing what route is best for you. Nursing school is expensive. There's no way around it. And with that being said, it's really important that you look at your options. I feel like a lot of people have this idea that you need to go to a university to obtain their nursing license. That's not true. I have been a nurse for about 2 years now, and I've worked alongside nurses that are, you know, charge nurse, travel nurses, floor nurses, specialty nurses, many nurses, and all of them have obtained their degrees from so many different facilities. What I'm trying to get at is it don't matter where you get this license from. As long as it's from an accredited school, then that's all that matters. When you get hired, they just want to make sure that you have an active license, you're able to sit for your boards, and you are a licensed nurse. So don't think that you have to go to a university to get that. There's so many different options. There's a really great option for getting your nursing degree is your community college. I know a lot of people try to, like, I won't say like look down or kind of feel embarrassed to say that they went to a community college because they feel like it's kind of cutting themselves short, anybody can go, but that's not the case. A lot of people don't take that step to even further their education. Whenever all these schooling's done, you'll have your degree and you've paid way less, like significantly less than what someone paid who went off to a university, or in my case a private school. So a little backstory about me is I went off to a university out of high school. I was having some difficulty getting classes cleared because they were saying they needed my transcripts, all this different other stuff. I sent like 100 transcripts. Long story short, I couldn't register for my classes, and I was torn between either coming home, leaving the university and going home, or paying, you know, thousands of dollars to just be on campus until next semester when I could take the classes that I need. So I was kind of like, no, like that's just, I'm not doing it. I'm not gonna pay to be here when I'm not getting the education that I need. So I came home. I did some classes at my local community college, but because I went to the university, they were having difficulty transferring over my financial aid and all that different other stuff. I guess it was still saying that I was a student over there. I don't know exactly what was going on. So I was paying out of pocket for like 2 classes, I want to say, because I was like, well, I'll pay out of pocket until that gets sorted out because I really want to get this stuff done. Like I need to finish school. So after doing that, the next semester they told me that my classes were fine, I would be able to register, everything was good, right? No, I got dropped from my classes, and once I got dropped from my class, I was just like, I'm stalling, I'm not getting anywhere. I need to get this nursing degree and be done because I was about sick of it. So I ended up going to a private school. My aunt also went to that school with me. She's the one that told me about it, and I obtained my license through there. And like I said, private school is one of the more pricier options. However, for me, I felt like it was worth me just investing that money and, you know, getting that schooling done versus stalling, trying to find the more cheaper route and then still be actively trying to get my degree, which is perfectly fine if that's the route you decide to do. But for me, I didn't want to waste any more time. I didn't want to get to a place where I'm working these little jobs and I get comfortable, I get complacent, and I felt like that's where I was going. So I chose the private school life, and by the grace of God, I finished that. You know, I'm sitting on a lot of money owed in tuition, but I'm done, and thankfully the Lord's blessed me to be in a position where I can make payments on my schooling, you know, and that's that. So yeah, that's like the first thing that I would say to anyone. I feel like that's the advice that I wish I knew beforehand, because if I knew then what I knew now, I would have probably done things a lot more differently. But, you know, granted, I'm a first generation college student. I'm sure there's a lot of you guys that are as well. It's hard trying to maneuver yourself, you know, through things when you want stuff that no one around you has done before. So, you know, with that being said, you know, I'm proud of myself. That's what I learned throughout the way. But that's the first thing that I would advise to you guys, because, you know, I'm in a position that I'm able to share this knowledge with you guys, is do your research and figure out what route is the most financially appropriate for you. So the next piece of advice that I feel like is very important to know before you start nursing is that nursing right now is very romanticized, okay? I feel like, you know, growing up, the little bit that you knew about nursing is based off of like maybe like Grey's Anatomy, even though they're doctors, but you know, like Grey's Anatomy, if you go to the hospital or you go to the doctor, you see these nurses. But now with social media, we see so many nursing influencers. We see all these super cute scrubs, you know, everything's so like cute and coffee and this, and a girl, it's not that. And I'm not saying that it's not that, but it's not just that, you know. So be prepared to take on a big role when you step into nursing, especially with nursing school, because it's preparing you to take care of human beings. It's very extensive. It's not something like that you can just learn once and then you're good to go. It's super extensive, so that means a lot of information is being crammed into you during those years that you're in nursing school. I feel like a big misconception is that nursing school is just so hard. You have to be extremely smart to finish it and be, you know, a good nurse or whatever the case may be, but that's not true. That's not true. I would never say that nursing school is hard, but I will say that it requires a lot of dedication. And if you're not disciplined on yourself, then that's what makes it hard. Because the moment you fall behind is the moment that it gets 10 times more challenging. Because yes, the stuff that you're learning is heavy, it's extensive. You have to be on top of that. So let alone if you're slacking, then you're trying to play catch up on stuff that really can't get caught up. You know, today when you obtain this license, you may be able to take cute pictures and scrubs, have your coffee, live the nurse life, but it's a lot of hard work that goes into that. And if you're not, your heart's not in the right place to provide the care, then it may not be the right route for you. I met so many people who went into nursing because they see nursing influencers. They think that, you know, you just work the 3 days a week and it's that. No, being a nurse is mentally draining. It's a lot. Mind you, y'all know I like to be cute, so I try to keep my scrubs cute and all that, but baby, the way I be fighting for my life in those scrubs is another story. So with that in mind is my next tip that I feel like everyone should know before going into nursing school, is that your social life may become non-existent. I feel like it is a big myth that you won't have a social life at all, because I did do a few things, but very heavy on few. I know one time I got beside myself and I called myself going out here and there, and I felt myself slipping. It just didn't work out for me. You know, it didn't work out. So I say that to say this, is that you can have a social life, but you need to prioritize your schooling. You need to also schedule in everything. My biggest key, my biggest tip is to get organized, whether that's a digital planner, whether that's a like a real planner that you have physically. That's the biggest tip that I can say to anyone. I was in nursing school, I used to schedule in whatever I decided to do. If it was dinner with family, whether it was go watch a movie with this person, I would schedule it in because I had that much, like I had that little of time that I would have to schedule in free time for myself. It's not impossible to enjoy those good things in life, but you also just have to be really mindful that there's other stuff that you have to do as well, and that you can't let yourself get a little bit carried away to where you're like, oh, forget it, I'm having fun, and that can get put off. Because honestly, the more you put that off, the more behind you get, and now who knows what you're facing during your nursing journey. I feel like my biggest tip also with that is kind of just reminding yourself constantly that it's temporary. You continue to do the things that you need to do. If you stay on top of your schooling, if you're organized, you will be victorious, and then you can have the free time that you want, you know. So just that would, like, you just have to remind yourself it's all temporary. It's all temporary. The next thing that you should know before starting nursing school is that you're not alone. Now I'm not saying that everyone that you meet in school is going to be your best friend. That's not the case. I didn't have many friends in nursing school. I made a few towards the end of my nursing journey. What I'm saying is, as a class, the feelings that you're feeling, I'm pretty sure a lot of your classmates are feeling. Even if you feel like they're just like the smartest people, those classmates are, you know, still struggling with self-doubt, still struggling with their time management, still trying to learn the same stuff that you're learning. You know, when you go into nursing school, I feel like you have this false pretense that you're just not as competent as your classmates. I feel like me specifically, I struggle with that, especially because I was the youngest in my class. I feel like a lot of them didn't really look at me as someone that was gonna make it through, and that's just a lot of your own self-doubt, your own self-confidence. But a lot of your classmates feel the same exact way, and I feel like it wasn't until towards the end of my nursing journey, when I've been with these people for how many years, and I'm speaking to them, I'm like, wow, you're so smart. It's crazy to think that you stress out so bad and you self-doubt so bad. You know, you're just the top of our class. All of you guys are scared. All of you guys are putting in crazy amounts of work. I'm pretty sure if you reach out to someone that they'll be able to hold your hand and honestly comfort you, knowing that you're not alone because you're feeling the same exact ways. The next thing that you should know before starting nursing school is failure happens. Point blank period, it happens. And I'm not saying that like, oh, like you're gonna fail out of nursing school, this, that, this. No, I'm not saying that, but it's gonna be a quiz that gets you choked up. It might be a test, it might be, you know, something that's not even worth any points, but you're going to have something that tricks you up. You're not gonna know everything. Your strong point might be someone's weaknesses, and someone's weaknesses might be your strong point. You're not gonna understand everything. Like for me, I did not get pediatrics. Pediatrics was really rough for me, as well as psych. Psych and pediatric meds got me very, very tripped up. Mind you, there was other parts that I really excelled in. So you have to understand that you're not going to be the strongest at everything. That's just the areas that you need to put extra work in. I feel like with nursing, when it comes to social media, a lot of things are kind of shown as like you get all A's and you excel and the top of this and this at this, and that is amazing. People who have that experience, kudos to them, God bless them. But if that's not your story, that's fine. That wasn't my story. I struggled with a few classes, and guess what? I still finished with my RN. And that's all I'm saying to you guys, is that it's not about you failing. It's about what you do whenever you have those hiccups. You know, do you feel defeated? Do you just say forget it, like it is what it is, it's not for me? Or do you regroup, change a few things, maybe change how you're studying and approach it differently and get it together? Simple as that. I don't want you guys to feel scared that you're not going to understand everything, because you're not. Even when you start working as a nurse, you're not gonna know half of that stuff. We're humans, you know? So try to just stay positive, and always, if there is anything that chokes you up, if there's any setbacks, regroup and restart. So the next thing that I think you should know while in nursing school is the importance of time management and maximizing your time. So like I mentioned a bit earlier, is the importance of having a calendar. I live by a calendar. That's one thing that I can say stuck with me from the beginning of nursing school to the end of nursing school. This is kind of not related to this video, but side tip, the moment you guys get your syllabus, get your calendar, transfer everything over. That was my biggest tip that I could give any nursing student, is to transfer everything over and start on any assignments that you're able to start on. And that's what I mean by maximizing your time. I remember vividly, we had our first week of school, which is kind of just the orientation week, and first week I went ahead, registered my books, I started doing all of our online work. I had all my stuff in my syllabus where I was caught up on like a week's worth of work. And it's not like, oh wow, only a week, but the thing is that week makes a difference. And honestly, you looking at that material and learning that material before you even go over and lecture is such a big factor. I feel like I could definitely tell a difference in my grades and my performance when I would read up on a chapter beforehand, or I would do the questions that were assigned for that week. So you don't have to worry about missing deadlines because it's already done. Easy to get behind, so it's so important to try to stay ahead, because I know what it's like to come in and they're like, oh, that was due 11:59 last night, and you're like, oh my gosh, I thought it was due 11:59 tomorrow, and you were waiting till the last minute. Don't do that. Don't be that person, because it sucks. It really does. So stay ahead of it and maximize your time. So also with maximizing your time is working smarter, not harder. I feel like there's so many different techniques to approach nursing school with, whether that's you like to write out all your notes, whether that's highlighting in the book, whether that's, you know, typing up all your notes. Figure out the gate, what is your learning style? Me, I'm visual. As soon as I see it, I can write it, I will remember it. I may not fully understand the process of it, but I can visually see it on that paper that this means this, and I'll be able to recite that. Don't ask me nothing else about it. So that's really important to know how you learn. I will actually link down below a quick quiz that you can take that tells you what learning styles they feel like is best for you. So work smarter, not harder. What works for your best friend may not work for you. Like, I had a homegirl who wrote down everything. She had to write down every single note, basically what the book was saying, because that's just how she learned. If I did that, I would waste 3 hours of my life and not retain anything. So like I said, figure out your learning style so you're able to work smarter and not harder, because I feel like in the beginning of my nursing journey, I was for sure working through those kinks. I would see you know, Annie Mae like doing this. She like typing up and making PowerPoints. Here's Yazzie trying to make PowerPoints, wasting 6 hours and still don't know nothing that she's typing up because she's wasting all this time typing it. Or here's this person who, like I said, writes out all their notes. Everything's not going to work the same for all of you. So figure out how you learn and approach everything in that matter. So the next thing that I feel like is really important to know before you start nursing school is the amount of resources that there are out there. I feel like especially in this day and age where everything's super technology, we're very interconnected, you have so many resources out there, whether that's like Khan Academy, Registered Nurse RN, so many different resources, as well as in your textbook. I'm not sure if it's every single textbook, but I know for my school, whatever textbooks that I had, a lot of them on that first cover have a link that you can register your book. You can register your book and it has its own bank of questions that it will test you on. And when I tell you, that is the truth. So, like I said, there's resources there in front of us that we don't even know about. Your books, and try to register your books. If you don't have any information that you're just unsure of, Google it. There's so many resources out there. I'll link a few of my favorite down below as well. So I hope you guys found those tips helpful. Like I said, when it comes to nursing school, it's really just taking everything day by day, telling yourself that if you're not ahead, you're behind, and keeping a positive attitude. Like, honestly, you can watch a million of these videos. That's what it's gonna boil down to. It's just really mentally preparing yourself for the time and dedication that it takes, for the mental straininess. What I love to tell anyone who ever messages me is that you are able to do it. You're not going to be the first nurse ever in the world. The fact that people are nurses lets you know that you can finish nursing school. I finished nursing school, so it's definitely not nothing crazy. You know, you just have to stick to it, and one foot at a time, one test at a time, until you're done. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. Like I mentioned in the beginning of this video, if you guys have any tips that you feel like, Yaz, you didn't put it in this video, but this is what the people need to know, comment down below. Like I said, I want us to all be able to help each other. I want everyone to feel comfortable that we can, you know, see this journey through together. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in my next one.